are going.
Okay. Nope, not that one. The other one. Chrome. And then, yeah, Chrome's stupid restore session
God.
that's just
I
absolutely
don't
recent.
even-
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And just doesn't work sometimes. Derp, 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 derp. Wow, Chrome, you are so terrible. I just love you. I just love you to pieces.
Recent tabs, none.
It's like, yeah, I know the
Get
computer
outta here.
crashed, but it's just like, really? Like, really? Like, oh man, that dem black magic drivers, man.
Oh
They
my
were,
goodness.
we were doing real well for a bit. And
Yeah.
the funny thing is that's even on their fancy like $1,000 or $2,000, however much it costs, like 4K capture card. And it just like sometimes, oh no, because this was an HDMI one. No, it is on the Intensity Pro. Because sometimes it just outrights like, yeah, no, blue screen.
We're
Sorry,
just gonna
bye.
not. So, see ya.
All right, so you know what, guys? I hate to kind of make you sit through this, but because it will take me about an extra 6 to 12 hours to have the WAN show archive up, if we don't do, like, if I cut it together afterward, there are a few reasons for that, and it's absolutely terrible. So we're gonna kind of just start over, and then we're going to nuke our first topic. So we're gonna do an
Take two.
extremely quick intro. Paid prioritization on the internet. Watchdogs is going to run at crappy resolutions, not on the PC.
Noctua fans, new one's coming, and Adaptive Sync is also coming.
Boom. So our sponsors today are Squarespace.com, the fast, easy way to create your own beautiful website, and Asus with the G750JZ. This laptop is so great that I use it with my mate. Don't hate.
I can't rhyme in.
Your response
I
is
can
too
only-
late.
There you go.
All right, so let's move on to our. I guess since it was one of our headline topics, we better at least sort of talk about it very briefly. So, FCC approves Internet Fast Lane. Basically, that's just a way of screwing over people who don't have the money to pay for the fast lane. You know what's funny? And I guess we didn't talk about this last time around, but it really is like that. Because calling it an internet fast lane is actually the very best way to explain what it is. It is a way of making sure that the people who don't have way too much money, so that they just don't even care anymore, just all get stuck in like sitting in traffic and wasting their time.
They're taking a 3-lane highway and making it so that one of the lanes is paid for only, so that the other 2 lanes have way too much traffic all the time, and then this one's awesome, but only has really rich people on
I
it.
mean, so have you ever been to Toronto?
For like half an hour.
Okay, so Toronto has
As
basically they have like two kind of not quite, but like two somewhat equivalent highways. And one of them is a toll highway, and the other one is the sit and don't move highway. And the toll highway is so expensive because you get told when you get on, and then it actually keeps track of how far you go and then tolls you like based on how far you went at the exit. And the way the way they enforce this is it's all cameras, but get this, if you try to dodge the toll, they keep records of all the vehicles matching a given description, and when they catch you, they look for patterns, and when they
Oh my
catch you,
goodness.
they hit you with the entire bill plus interest. So like it's absolutely brutal. And basically I forget how much it costs, but I was there and and I worked it out, and it was something like an hour of your wage per day if you were making like okay money just to get to and from work, aside from gas, aside from insurance,
Yeah.
which of course the local government is also collecting taxes on. Yeah, it's just absolutely brutal.
That's nasty.
So that is what a fast lane is. A fast lane is a way of saying, You got lots of money? All right, man. You don't got lots of money? You can go.
Get in that
Get
one
in
highway
line.
that doesn't move ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Okay, so this is pretty fantastic. This was posted originally on the forum by Death Jester. We're going to go ahead and share my screen here. Watchdogs, the Watchdogs experience. So, okay, so here's a quote from the article, which was on the Ubisoft blog. On next-gen systems, the game will run at 900p on PS4, which actually is not that bad. Upscaled 900p is not that bad. That's what, like 80% of the resolution of 1080p-ish?
It's still not 1080p, and 1080p's kind of meh.
On a TV, though. Remember, you're playing on a TV.
That's true.
So
That's
1080p
true.
is like as good as it gets.
Not everyone plays these on TVs.
That's true, but you're still playing on a 1080p display.
Especially
you're not...
like dorm room people. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, so you're playing at 1080p. So 900p, not that bad. It's going to run at 792p on the Xbox One. What is 792p? Like they're just inventing things. It's like what?
It's the highest. It's probably the highest they could get that sits at 30 FPS.
Yeah, but it's better than 790p. Why didn't you go with 790p? Why not 793p?
The highest they could possibly get, where it sits stable at 30 FPS.
So
bet you that was it.
It runs at 30 frames per second on both consoles, and basically what Ubisoft had to say is, while some new gen games now offer native 1080p, it was much more important to deliver an amazing next gen experience than to push a few more pixels onto the screen. And this is a quote: "Resolution is a number, just like frame rate is a number."
Oh no.
Resolution is not just a number. Resolution is one part of the overall visual fidelity, but that assumes that the resolution is at a reasonable enough level that it's not detracting from the experience.
Hey,
I mean,
Linus, experience is a word. Just like how gameplay is a word.
how did I ever do the show without you? Oh, right, less expensively.
You don't pay me for the whole show. And actually, at the beginning when I first came on, you didn't pay me for the show at all for like a year and a half or something.
I don't think it was a year and a half.
No.
I think it was. I don't know when it was.
It was a year and
Whatever.
2 months.
I think that a year is just a period of time.
Oh no. Oh man.
So, okay, guys, this is the problem with this. Okay, like look at it this way. When you're playing a game like Battlefield 4, where it's available on the PC, it's available on the PlayStation 4, it's available on the Xbox 360, it's available on all these platforms, that gives you an opportunity to evaluate the importance of like gaming hardware. And you know what? I think when you and I were doing our evaluation with the next gen versus last gen versus entry level PC, we pretty much agreed. PlayStation 4, you know what? Not a bad value.
Yep.
The difference, this was Assassin's Creed at the time, and that was running at 900p at the time, wasn't it?
I think so. It was something like that. I can look it up.
It was 720p on Xbox One for sure.
One, yeah.
And I think we could agree, and just jump in if I'm saying things that are totally unfair, but I think we could agree that PlayStation 4 looked a hell of a lot closer to the entry-level PC. Like, basically...
Yeah.
sitting a distance away from it. But the Xbox One experience, because the resolution was so low, even though maybe they're running similar detail levels and they've got the same physics simulations and all that gameplay stuff that is really important, the resolution was so low that it detracted from the experience. It was very noticeable. It was obvious, and your eyes kind of went, oh, like crap, like this would look good if it wasn't for ugh.
Yeah.
That
People are saying 1080p now, but I think there
it
was
is
an
1080p
update.
now.
I think
Yeah,
there's an update.
yeah. No, there was an update. So the point is that up to a certain point, resolution's just a number. And when your TV is going to be, 20 feet away from you or something like that, 1080p versus 4K, you may not even be able to tell.
Depending on the screen size and stuff, too.
Depending on screen size, depending on distance, depending on content.
Yeah.
But 1080p versus 360p you'd be able to tell.
Yeah.
And then like 1080p versus like, you know, whatever the lowest one, like is it like 144 or like whatever the like lowest vertical line resolution is going to be distracting and terrible. And I in my mind, 792p for something that we're going to call a next-gen gaming experience, I understand what they're doing, but it's a totally unacceptable gaming experience in my mind. But I don't blame Ubisoft for this at all.
No, not their fault.
In fact, Ubisoft, I'm going to do this. You know why?
They pushed the experience that they needed to push.
That's right. And on the platforms that can do it, they're going to deliver that experience. They had the balls to say, look, we're going to make an awesome game that looks fantastic and has a bunch of really cool features.
And it does.
And you know what? If people don't buy the right hardware, fine. Then they're going to get a lesser experience and like, we're sorry, but like, we did our best, man. We did our best and deal with it.
Honestly, the stuff Ubisoft's been pushing out lately has been really cool. Other than Uplay's terrible.
Yeah, Uplay's terrible.
Really bad. But like the games.
This live stream brought to you by Ubisoft. Uplay's terrible. Oh wait, hold on.
Nope. One actually fairly interesting thing is Mario Kart 8 on Wii U is going to be 1080p 60 FPS.
Hold on. This is great. This guy's like, Linus is such a suck up sometimes, and then he probably hasn't seen the part of the stream yet.
Uplay is terrible.
Yeah, Uplay is awful.
Really bad.
Yeah,
like,
Uplay is awful.
Very possibly the worst one.
What I think Ubisoft should do is they should just like make a deal with Valve where they can have their own Uplay, but they can just skin
like
Steam.
A section on Steam?
Yeah.
Like there's the Uplay section on Steam?
No, Valve should just sell them a license for Steam. No way.
That would be so good.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
If anyone from Valve is watching, please rescue them.
Do it.
You know that they need to have their own thing so they can feel like big boys. Like they have their online content distribution thing. Let them build their own.
You can still make money off this.
Yeah, you can still make money off of it this way. Just let them license it so they can feel like they're doing their own thing. Everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner because it's so much better than Origin and Uplay. And then maybe part of the license contract can be that browser-based, what's that, Battlelog. Battlelog has to go away.
Yes. Oh, man, I would be so happy.
Valve can rescue us all.
Valve can literally save the whole universe.
Okay, I'm sorry, you were talking about Mario Kart and how
Mario Kart
Nintendo is going to be delivered.
Nintendo, Mario Kart 8 on Wii U, 1080p 60 FPS, including split-screen multiplayer. They're just like, nope, it needs to be in this experience. And it looks really good, and it has new features and all this kind of stuff, and boom, done.
Part of Nintendo's thing, I think they benefit from resolution more than other guys, because their graphical style, it's kind of like Blizzard, where they're just like, we're going to make stuff that's really easy to run, and then we're going to call that a graphical style.
Yeah, but it looks really good.
But it works.
Yeah.
That cartoony style works. I mean, that's not going to help Nintendo
Watchdogs,
stop losing money,
No.
and it's not going to help Watchdogs in any way.
No, because Watchdogs is not cartoony
This
style.
is great. Who's this on Twitch? Adalvalant. Battlelog is so much fun. Yeah, it's basically its own game. The game is.
Can you make it work?
Press the button. Find out if it works. It's like playing slots, you know.
Every time someone wants to play Battlefield with me, I'm like, let's see, because I don't know. And half the time it's like, nope, can't play. Okay, good luck, have fun.
Oh, fantastic! Someone wants to know, what are the aftermarket buds on my IE80s? Nothing. These are just stock IE80s, and I love them. They're amazing. They're my favorite. They're my favorite earphones ever. Not because Sennheiser paid me to say that. In fact, my relationship with Sennheiser has been very rocky at times, but I definitely do love their products.
What are those tips that we used to use?
Comply.
Yeah, those were nice.
Comply actually reached out. They want us to do a review. And I was just kind of like, how do you do a review of a piece of phone that goes on the end of a... Yeah.
We could do like a 30-second review.
We could do a review of just the tip, I guess.
We
don't want the whole thing.
They're
just give us
good,
the tip.
but they break down, and then you have to buy new ones, and it gets expensive.
Yeah,
When you're done.
I mean, Edsel buys them, but my whole thing was I don't want to get hooked because I cannot... Okay, I can afford to buy foam tips, but I would feel stupid.
It's not like that much money, but it just seems like an investment where you're like, wow, do
I'm-
I really need to do this?
I'm locking into this commitment. But you know what? In the grand scheme of things, they do sound better and they
Yeah.
are way more
They're
comfortable.
way more comfortable.
If they had like a subscription service, as stupid as this sounds,
They should have one though.
They
That
should
makes
have one,
sense.
because-
Soylent has a subscription service.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, one of our sponsors, Dollar Shave Club, like, if Dollar Shave Club came to us and they're like, yeah, we have this great idea, you're gonna buy razors online, I'd be like, wow, you're an idiot.
That's a terrible idea.
That's a terrible idea. But the whole subscription model makes it actually work really well because you're committing a small amount of money spread out over a long period of time, and then you don't have to think about it. Because to me, it's really about the hassle. I'll tell you what. If anyone from Comply is watching, if you guys figure out a subscription model where, like, I just get a new set of tips once a quarter or something like that, and it's inexpensive, and, like, I get a discount for being, like, part of the club, kind of like what, again, one of our other sponsors, 5-4, where they take their store and they basically
Yeah.
go, okay, look, you sign up for the subscription and you have half price off of MSRP, and we send it to you once a month. Like, if Comply figures out something like that, where they get the commitment from me so they can rely on the business, and I get a discount and the convenience, I will commit and I will start using Comply tips. That's my
Soylent
deal.
recently came out of their like beta phase. They're now selling normally.
Beta
and-
food.
I know. It's
With the way beta tests go, like,
Well, they have FCC approved, even though that's still kind of sketchy. But they do have a nutritional label now and all that kind of stuff, so that's kind of good.
they have
But-
a nutritional label. But nutritional labels are just numbers.
This is not gonna end like ever.
We need a t-shirt. Resolution is just a number, and then it should be all like pixelated and shitty looking.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
Guys, let us know if we need to do that. You know what? I'm gonna just jump on this. We have to make that t-shirt. Need resolution is just a number t-shirt.
Resolution is just a number, just like
Yeah, and the text should look crappy and low
Yeah.
res. Okay, I'm sending that to Edsel.
I'm trying to think of some way that you can include just like FPS is just a number.
It'll
then,
be
like,
too long.
It would be too long for one.
Too long.
And then for two, the only way that I can think of that you could style it properly would be like lagging the letters out. And that
Yeah.
would just look really weird.
Yeah, and like if you
Yeah.
want the words to be low res enough to kind of get the joke,
It's gonna have to be pretty big.
they'll take up space so you can
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
read it and stuff. So yeah, resolution is just a number t-shirt. We're gonna get on that, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry our t-shirt supply chain takes so long. We're looking into some other options. So stay tuned on that, you guys.
Yeah. But yeah, so they went subscription service recently, and I think that's really smart because a big problem with that whole thing.
Sorry, we're back to talking about Soylent.
Yeah,
I've lost
yeah.
track. I had to think about it for a second. What is he talking about? Like
Yeah,
subscription condoms?
That probably exists.
It probably does. It would make you feel really like it wouldn't it make you feel crappy when you start to get a stockpile and you'd be like, oh, I'm not
No.
I'm not doing very well here.
There's you know how I sometimes try and find like people that want to do pre-rolls and stuff like that. I was
no.
watching this is gonna go there. I was watching an old archive of one of the Young Turks videos on some topic. I don't even remember why I was watching it, but their sponsor for the video was some condom website, and I thought about it, and I'd like written the email being like maybe we should contact them, and I was like no, because I was like, well, our target audience would be so big for them.
Wait, because they all have large penises?
Well,
I mean, you probably do, but
yeah, but I meant more the male side.
yeah. We should totally do it. Why not?
I wasn't a huge fan of the website.
Oh, okay.
If
All
it
right.
was like a better service or a better website, then I probably would have actually sent the email. But it was kind of
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, because if we can find, I guess, well, there's the challenge. If we can find a not sketch
yeah.
online condom seller.
Well, like Durex wouldn't be sketch, but then it would have to be like a subscription service to them or whatever. right?
Yeah.
So and like I
interesting.
don't know if that's gonna work. But anyways, back to Soylent again.
Yes.
My biggest problem with it is like the second you run out, you're like, oh, okay, well I'm gonna have to wait 2 weeks or something until I get more.
Right.
So time to not be using this for a while.
Right, because
So
then you
it's
can't,
weird.
you can never be on cycle properly. You can never actually test it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So now they actually have a subscription thing. You can sign up for a month or whatever weeks, or I don't know. I didn't really look that far into it, but you can get a subscription, and they're like, yeah, it'll show up a little bit before the end because it's not that big of a deal because this stuff lasts for like years before it expires. So it'll show up before you're out, and you're good. It's like, okay, cool.
And then, if you listen to everything he just said and you imagine he's talking about condoms, That works too.
Actually, all of that would have been accurate, wouldn't
Yep. I was paying attention.
it? Awesome.
I mean, whenever we're talking about condoms, I'm definitely paying attention.
They should
All
have a
right.
subscription
So
service.
this is a topic, SSOELE. Dude, you know what? Normally
Sold.
Normally we don't change people's names on the forum, like it's kind of against forum policy, but if he or she ever wants to message me and get a name change, we will take care of that for you so that I can pronounce your name when you post things that are helpful like this.
Sissoele.
Whatever. Anyway, the point is, excuse me. The point is that Noctua has released penis size is just a number, and the entire Twitch chat exploded.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Maybe we should have a low res penis on the resolution is just a number shirt.
Well, it's like small enough that you can't really make out what it is.
Yeah, like a low res cock and balls, like right under the in the corner or something.
So it just looks like an underline.
Yeah, so it's just like 4 squares, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Oh,
terrible.
that's awesome.
You know, I don't think I've ever used that word on the stream before.
Nope, probably not.
Probably shouldn't. All right, so Noctua has new fans coming, you guys. This is pretty freaking exciting. New fans in new colors. Although, the way the internet exploded about this news kind of made me feel like they didn't really watch our Computex coverage from last year.
No.
Like, 1 year ago, we broke this news, showed off all these fans. And it takes Noctua a year. This is what I like about Noctua. They don't seem to care about making money.
Nope.
They just don't. They just like so many fan companies or cooler makers. You look at them and you just kind of go, you know, I wish they would just give up their precious money and spend a bunch of money making like a really great quality fan.
Which they'd probably make a lot of money off of.
Which, well, no, I don't think so, because like you look at how much Noctua spends on the packaging to make sure that
that's very true.
and you can't have a premium brand without having good packaging. I think this has been proven time and time again. I'm not criticizing them for spending money on packaging. You have to. So they've got their premium packaging. They've got actually legitimately well-built products. The amount of R&D, I mean, it took them a year to get these to market. I don't think
After they were working.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think their margin is any better than any other fan maker. And if I had to guess, I would guess it's probably worse. So, like, on a BOM cost basis, like, you look at what the other guys can afford to spend on marketing, whereas we go to Noctua and we're like, hey, we love your products. We would have no problem shilling the heck out of them because we think they're great. And they just kind of go, like, we don't really have a marketing budget. So, yeah. We thank you for loving our products. We'll send you as many of our products as you want.
Which is kind of awesome.
Which is great. which actually
Use them all the time.
that was all we really wanted anyway. Yeah. But I don't remember where I was going with this. Right. So I love that they just have the balls to have a product that's pretty much ready to rock like a year ago. Take a year to bring it out because that's how long it takes to get it perfect. And I'm assuming it's perfect. They are in the mail, but we don't have them yet.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Redux line takes away some of the little extras like rubber grommets and brings back some of the older designs that we haven't seen in a while, like the older S12 non-Redux, and cost them down a little bit to make Noctua quality a little bit more affordable, which I think is great. But
And then, nope.
oh, these are the ones that have my attention. I mean, we're talking $30 plus a fan for industrial grade Noctua fans, and they're black and they just have little brown accents, and they have all the way up to IP67 water and dust proofness. They're available at a couple of different RPM levels, and holy balls, these are exciting because it's the only fan
They look really sharp.
that really matters if you want I haven't even touched them yet, but because of Noctua's reputation, I'm comfortable saying they're going to be the only fan in terms of the highest possible quality PC fan experience that you're going to be wanting to look at. So,
And those rubber accents on the end can, one, probably be changed in color pretty easily.
yep.
And two, they're removable, so that'll be even more easy to change the color.
Yep.
And they're the dark brown.
Yes.
Not the light brown that a lot of people complained about anyways.
Yeah,
So,
I'm all right with the color. I don't mind
too.
it. It's like a chocolate color as opposed to like a digestive problem color.
And if Asus stops making golden motherboards, maybe it'll be okay.
Asus's motherboards, I'll have you know, are the gold standard.
Oh.
and that is why they're gold. Speaking of Asus, is JJ ever going to join us here?
I don't know.
We haven't had our video chat open, so I don't even know if he has tried to send a friend request or anything. I don't see any requests, and I don't see any emails from the J Meister. So maybe
The
JJ will join us
J-Meister.
next week. I don't know.
Boom.
Oh, we never showed the results of that straw poll that
Right.
we ended up crashing the stream over wanting to show them. Are you happy with your ISP? Wow. A third of the people say yes.
Remember, though, our time zone for this show is very well lined up.
With Australia.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. They should definitely be answering no. All of them should be answering no.
Anyone from Australia, go back and change your answer.
Seriously, if you
Because
said yes,
you're
that's wrong.
And
Not good enough.
A full 24% said cucumber.
You know what? I might have said cucumber. Because you don't put multi-options, do you?
Nope.
Nope.
You have to choose one option. You got to commit. Yes, no, or cucumber.
Oh, man.
We haven't even covered anything. We didn't really have much of a show lined up today because we were expecting JJ to talk to us and
Talk
tell
to
us about
everyone.
Z97.
We've talked about stuff. We talked about FCC. We talked about Watchdogs. We talked about Noctua fans.
We talked about Noctua fans. Okay, well, let's talk about how Xbox One is slightly less unfair now. So they did a couple of things here that I think I would look at and say, wow, that's really commendable if they weren't so terrible in the first place. So number one is the fact that, and honestly, I've never owned an Xbox. Okay, no, I've owned an Xbox. I have an Xbox 360 and an Xbox One. Okay, I own two Xboxes.
But they were both not for really personal use much.
I could have used them.
But you didn't.
Right. So one of the biggest issues that I had from day one, like when I found out as a PC gamer traditionally, anyway, this was posted on the forum by Rafi, when I found out as a PC gamer that they had an Xbox Live Gold membership that I had to have to like update my profile or voice chat with people or play multiplayer, I was just like, what, are you high? Like, are you stupid? Like, if we just, and I kind of said at the time, I remember saying at the time, look, if we all just boycott this, it'll go away. Like that. Instantly, it'll
never
go
happen,
away.
though.
Because they have to sell consoles and they have to sell games. And if we refuse, if we just all stand there and not pay for it, those subscription fees will go away. Looks like it's happening. Microsoft is getting a little desperate. And then the other thing that's terrible in the first place is the fact that the Kinect, which was forced to be bundled with the Xbox One, you were forced to buy one if you wanted an Xbox One, is now an option. And I mean, Kinect is just, like, it's one of those things where, you know what? $100 delta, and I wanted an Xbox One, I would probably buy the Kinect option. I have a young family. For kids, you know what? Casual Kinect games, I would rather, and this is like that kind of thing that the gaming community makes fun of, and I wholeheartedly agree with you guys. It's all kind of silly.
And you'd have the control of being able to stand in your kitchen, and when your kid won't get off the Xbox, just be like, Xbox off.
Like, it's one of those things where I would rather my kids play at a game that at least has them waving their arm around. If nothing else, I don't want to see my son like slack-jawed like this for 4 hours at a time. It's one of those things. Like, I don't know. Like, I did it as a kid. I turned out all right. But at the same time, I don't know. It just seems like
It can happen. You just probably want a mix of things.
I would,
Like, my parents were cool with it, but I was extremely active. I was in tons of sports and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
But then I would also lay completely across the couch and play Morrowind for days on end.
right.
So, like, I don't know.
Like, I don't know what the right answer is, but I will say that if I was gonna buy the kids an Xbox game, I would rather, like, you know,
Right.
Dance Off Challenge or whatever versus, like, you know, Blood Sport 16 kind of
Call of Duty 7
yeah, Call of
Cats
Duty
edition.
like Space Edition or whatever that.
Don't worry, the amoebas have AI.
Yeah. We got like a big time actor to put in the trailer because
Oh.
we don't know what else to do.
Who just plays a character that he has, no matter what, definitely very recently played. Like, no differences.
I know.
It's exactly the same person. Have you watched that at all?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow. Why is this even a video game? Why don't we just make it a movie then at this point?
I legitimately looked up to see if he was actually playing the same character. Like, I was wondering if they had made a deal with Netflix or something to, like, integrate the show into the game. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. That's an interesting idea. Nope. It's like, oh, okay. Guess not.
So anyway, I don't know, remember where we were going with this, but so you will be able to buy the Kinect separately later this fall. You can get the console for $100 cheaper without Kinect. Someone's calling me, and something else. Right, Xbox Gold is no longer required for popular entertainment experiences like Netflix and Hulu Plus.
You know-
and that's baffling to me. Why did you ever need that in the first place?
Yeah, and I can't imagine that Netflix, Hulu Plus, and those guys really wanted that to be there at all. They've probably been pushing against it as well.
But what can they do, right?
Yeah. You know, I used to play Halo 2 online, so I had to have a gold subscription. And what I would do is I would have my whole friends list written out. And then every single time that
You know you were a sucker,
my
right?
1 month
You were a
would
sucker.
end up, every time my 1 month would close, you would get a 1 month free if you made a new MSN account. So I had my whole friends list written out. I'm not going to go into what I did from there.
Your friends must have.
But I had
hated
a
you.
hard copy of my friends list. Yeah, they did.
That is so annoying. It's the first. Okay, Luke's friggin' like gonna have to re-add him because he's a bum poo head.
I was like, I was paying for my games at that point in time, and like, there's no way I'm gonna pay that much money for this stupid online subscription that I don't want to do.
And there's no way your parents are gonna buy that for you.
No.
Nope. I've met him. I've spent enough time with his parents to be like, yeah, they're pretty supportive, but like, you figure it out.
Yeah, I played EverQuest back in the day. I paid for those. I paid for those monthlies.
So
WoW.
that's why you got into EVE Online. Because you could earn your subscription fee.
Yeah. WoW subscriptions, I think my parents helped me out a little bit though, but then it was my brother, my dad, and we all played together.
Right,
And, like,
well,
my
that's
mom
different.
came and played with us sometimes too and stuff, so it was like we're all, yeah, that was kind of cool. And for a lot of times we even shared an account, like
Right.
all three of us, so yeah.
All
was a
right,
bit
so you know what's funny is there was a post in this thread. So this was originally posted by Tech Fanatic on the forum. Thank you very much for posting. That said that, like, ha ha ha, Linus was so down on AMD's FreeSync, lol, goes to show him. And I was a little bit confused by that. Was I ever at any point down on FreeSync?
A little bit.
What did I say?
You said it wasn't going to work. But then
I said it wouldn't work with the scalars now.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure specific words were current form.
And I said that was NVIDIA saying that.
Yeah.
And actually,
I know that you said it won't work in its current form.
And when the news first broke on Nantech, I actually posted that to Facebook, and I was like, holy crap, does this completely invalidate G-Sync's existence?
Yeah.
So I don't know where all this came from, but I am totally 100% on board with AMD's FreeSync, now called
It's actually really
ActiveSync.
cool. Yeah.
There's one thing that I'm a little bit sketched out about so far, and that was doing some reading. It's not 100% clear to me what cards it's going to work on, because it looks like they're saying R9 290X and 260X, which would basically be Hawaii version, whatever it is, the new
Yeah.
ones. So not the rebadges of the Tahiti Core ones,
Which would really suck.
which would be really sucky. And then there's no mention of NVIDIA cards. Now, what I think is AMD's whole stance lately has been open standards, this and that. So I sincerely hope that it's an open standard. But I would hate to see it happen where NVIDIA's pushing a G-Sync standard and AMD's pushing an adaptive sync standard, and we end up with monitors that support one or the other or both. Because, and this is something I have criticized NVIDIA about, asking people to lock into something is kind of sucky. I do understand that if you develop the technology, like they basically built their own scalar hardware for monitors. It's not just a software trick. I mean, if you're developing the technology, I understand that you want to benefit from it, and the only way you're going to benefit from it is a license fee to the monitor guys and selling more graphics cards to go with those monitors. But that doesn't mean I have to be happy about it. And I think that it will be definitely the wrong path if both of them try to do that. I mean, the good news about Adaptive Sync is, unlike G-Sync, it looks like it's going to be a very simple implementation. So anything with DisplayPort 1.2a will have Adaptive Sync as part of the VESA standard, which pretty much, I mean, you know, don't quote me on this 6 months down the line. Really, don't quote me on this, but if that happens, ActiveSync is going to just be in any monitor with a DisplayPort port, because remember, guys, DisplayPort is free to implement on your monitor compared to the license fees associated with HDMI. So it'll just support ActiveSync, and I really don't know what the future of G-Sync will be. One thing that NVIDIA did say openly was that we really want the gaming experience to be better, and that's why we made this technology. So I really hope that if they managed to move the industry forward, that they still feel good about themselves and that we all still remember who did it. So that's, I guess, all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
And I say the same, and it's not because, you know, I've got, you know, a raging, you know, hard on for NVIDIA. It's because I do appreciate anyone who pushes the industry forward. I don't have a ton of love for Apple, but I appreciate that they pushed resolution forward. Even though they don't even make displays. Why did it take Apple to develop the Retina concept? Why? And like, I appreciate other things they do, like the fact that they focus on accurate color for their displays, whereas everyone else, other than Google, seems to be, and HTC is doing a better job lately. I mean, well, everyone's doing a better job lately, but Apple started it. And so I think we just all need to appreciate the guys who innovate, even if that innovation isn't inventing or actually building something, if it's just awareness and making people understand that something needs to happen. So there. That's what I have to say about that. I guess there's some other stuff in there, isn't there? Something about, like, potentially DisplayPort 1.3 as well?
Well, DisplayPort 1.3 will be able to support 8K. Although it'll have to change the connector to be able to support 8K or 4K 3D. So
Maybe.
That's not necessarily tied into the actual Adaptive Sync thing. That's just talking about future DisplayPort connectors.
And if anyone wants an explanation of Adaptive Sync, basically what it means is that your monitor will only refresh when your graphics card outputs a signal. So it's just like G-Sync, and it will reduce tearing and lag, and it really does make a very big difference. It's like fantastic.
Low persistence is cool, man.
Yeah, and low persistence on top of that is going to turn the LCD gaming experience into finally legitimately better than a CRT gaming experience.
Yeah. You know how people were talking about...
So many years later.
yeah. This is totally off topic completely. But you know how people were talking about how our office was dirty in the office tour video?
Yes.
Have you seen Palmer's office?
No.
Oh my god. There's just like the side of his desk, there's like an angled pile of garbage that goes all the way up and touches the top of his desk on both sides. And then on both sides of the door, there's just like stuff. And none of it necessarily looks like you should throw it away. It's just stuff. Just all over the place. The whole top of his desk, there's a laptop sitting like angled on top of a bunch of books and other crap, and like just...
Is the top of his desk worse than my desk was back at NCIX? You remember the piles of paper that I used to have on my desk, right?
I think they're like... I don't know, because I didn't get like a top-down view. I got it from the side. But that's got to be one of the closest to your desk I've ever seen. Like, it's insanity. And there's like an interview going on in there, and he's just like, yeah, whatever, I don't even care.
The number of people... 8K is just a number. The number of people telling us, or asking why we didn't clean up the office before we did a tour. Oh, you guys. The number of hours that went into cleanup before that tour happened. You wouldn't have even believed this place. There was, like, okay, here, I'm going to put this in perspective for a minute. All that stuff in the garage was in the house, okay?
Yeah.
So that's step one. Step number two, all of the shelves, the one in Luke's office and the ones downstairs for the camera equipment, were in the house. We didn't have. The table,
all of that was on the floor.
Yeah, the table that was out in the garage, that's just like a dining room table that has like pedestal style feet under it, so there's like not really any room under it. That was what we were using in place of where Brandon's shelf is. So like all the stuff that's on that shelf was either on that under it or on the floor in the fastest possible green screen area. Sometimes when we had to shoot as fast as possible, we legit had to like rearrange the piles of stuff on the floor so the lights could illuminate the green screen correctly. You guys have no idea. Like, it's actually, everyone around here has been marveling lately at how easy it is to work right now.
It's quite amazing. You can walk in a straight line for at least 2 seconds without running into anything.
Yeah.
And before,
tripping
like,
on something.
shuffling your foot forward would have ran into something.
I think Brandon's agility has leveled up at least 6 levels since he started working here, because that guy, he almost
He's called
ended
Cables.
he almost ended up with the nickname Cables. If we
Yeah.
hadn't started calling him B-roll before we started calling him Cables, he would have been Cables for sure, because that guy, when he first started working here, you put a cable in a room, he would trip over it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
100%. Like, the number of times he has almost destroyed the Sony FS700 camera, the $8,000 camera,
It's amazing.
I can probably count on more than one hand.
Yeah.
Because of, like, tripping on something or hooking it on something, and, like, and then, oh, man, there's this one time when he didn't lock the tripod head.
Oh, no.
And it was going down so fast that I swear the lens mount would have broken or something, and then he was like, whoa, and he caught it.
Yeah, and like, he's learned the foot flick.
Yeah, the foot
Which
flick.
most nerds that I know, which is when you're like walking across and you trip on traditionally an Ethernet cable, but it
Yeah.
could be anything.
Could be power.
Your foot goes under it, and then you fall forward, whip your foot back, and then slam it forward. So that you can land and you're okay. You look kind of weird, but you're okay, but it doesn't pull on the cable.
We
He's
should do a
learned that.
guide.
We should do a guide.
We should
on
do
the
a
foot
guide. How to navigate, like, we noticed a lot of you were upset about the number of cables in our office. Let's show you a little trick.
flick. It's called the foot flick.
The foot flick.
That would be awesome. We
It should be like a
review the
music
foot
video.
flick.
I've always kind of wanted to do a music video.
Everybody do the foot flick.
Everybody do the foot flick.
That would be fantastic.
All right, well, we should probably do our sponsor spots or something at some point here. So,
Brought to you by Foot Flick.
brought to you by FootFlick. Squarespace, the #1 website for creating a website about FootFlick. Just go to squarespace.com, sign up, and you can have your website online in just a matter of no time. It'll look great on the desktop, great on the notebook, which is basically the same thing, and great on your tablet and smartphone, because the way that their templates work makes it super easy to get set up. And something I always forget to mention, they have 24/7 tech support.
Yeah.
I always forget about this. That is actually a huge deal.
It is.
It's not phone support, mind you, but you can email them. And I had my mom try them. And even though, like, my mom still didn't manage to figure it out, like, I read the responses and they were, like, super helpful. And, like, really fast. And I was just like, Ma, you have to read it. You can't just get an email from an internet company, assume you're not going to be able to read it, and then call me. You have to try to read it. Like, they explain, like, if you just read the thing. Anyway, my mother aside, Squarespace is super easy to use, super scalable, and apparently, based on how much positive feedback I get about Squarespace, you guys love it. So the number of people that have just sent me tweets thanking me for the 10% off. So if you head over to squarespace.com/Linus and use offer code Linus, you can save 10%. So people thanking me for the 10% off, and people telling me how much they love it and how easy it is to use compared to WordPress or other services like that. You can set up a portfolio, you can set up a blog, you can set up even a web store. So they have an e-commerce module, and it's all compared to actually coding a website from scratch. It's basically drag and drop, to the point where our designer did linusmediagroup.com as opposed to having him do linusmediagroup.com. So they've got their logo designer, they've got their tech support, they've got the fact that it's easy to use, and the fact that you can just hit it as hard as you want, and the plans are very, very scalable, and they don't go down. So there you go, guys. Squarespace.com. We absolutely love it. And the discount, 10%, yes, it is just a number. Thanks, Squarespace. We appreciate you guys. We love you. And inside joke for whoever from Squarespace is watching this right now. I think that's pretty much the end of the joke there. So let's move on to our next sponsor message. You weren't there.
I have no idea what just happened.
Total inside joke.
Okay.
He's gonna freak out. He's gonna be like, dude, really? Okay, so the Asus G750JZ. As far as gaming laptops go without getting into the ones that are like so thick they legitimately don't fit into backpacks. In fact, I actually have Asus's purpose-built. What did I just drop?
Hopefully nothing important.
Nope. So I have Asus's purpose-made ROG laptop that actually goes with the G750JZ or any other similar Asus gaming notebook that's also, well, this size. Where was I going with this? Right, yes. So it's the gaming laptop that, without going into kind of the ludicrous specs, is pretty much as good as you can get. It's got...
Now you're just listing off rappers.
Oh, I didn't even mean to.
I was doing so good.
I will give you 50 cents to go away.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Oh, man.
I was doing so good, and then he said ludicrous. I was just like, boom.
You've completely derailed me. Okay, so I'm trying to talk about this laptop here. So without getting into the ones that are absolutely crazy, run crazy hot, and get like 30 minutes of battery life, the G750JZ is about as powerful as you can get. The onboard graphics, I shouldn't say onboard, the built-in graphics are a GTX 880M, which is actually about equivalent to a GTX 770 desktop card. And then the onboard CPU, I'm even saying these things. You threw me for a loop here.
I was doing so good. I lifted up my laptop, I put it back down, I sat here, I just like looked around in the background, and then ludicrous.
All right, well, I'm just going to have to make my way through this as best I can here. So the cooling is fantastic, good enough that we can actually run these laptops on our laps. And
Wow, I just got the 50 Cent reference. I didn't get it till now. Oh, that was good. Okay.
Okay. Do we have our composure?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
This laptop is very powerful. It's portable, it's fast, it runs really cool, it's high quality because it's made by Asus, it's got a great overall fit and finish to it. We found that it's great for video editing, it's great for gaming, it has a surprisingly excellent price to performance ratio compared to thin and light gaming notebooks, and even compared to a desktop. It's not as far off as we've traditionally seen in the past. You should check out the G750JZ if you need something that is, while not super thin and light, still portable and will deliver a truly great gaming experience. I mean, we were able to run BioShock Infinite on Ultra. You were able to run pretty much everything you threw at it
Yeah,
at like
actually.
Desktop grade specs.
I did
settings,
my normal
rather.
benchmarking sets for good graphics cards, so maximum everything essentially.
Yeah, like Luke has different presets for the games depending on what kind of a tier of product we're running.
Yeah.
And so we were able to run all of the like enthusiast class tiers, and without the laptop, something to tears. I'm missing the word there. Bursting into tears.
Yeah.
Although that would be like water cooled.
Next level laptops, they burst into tears when you put them into underperformance.
We need the snacks on this show. Do you have any M&Ms?
No, actually. Oh. I was like, what? Of course not. Ah. Oh my goodness. Man.
Oh, yeah, okay. So.
I was actually trying. I was like, I didn't prep my Jay-Z joke this week, which like needed some prep. So I was like, I'll just let him go, and this week will be a calm week. And then nope, not at all. Not at all. He said ludicrous.
I didn't even mean to on that one.
I know.
I didn't even think of it. That wasn't even the spelling that was in my head.
No, nope.
All right, so posted on the forum by someone. Anyway, this is an article from AnonTech. The Shield gets Portal and Half-Life 2, which, here, if you want to run through this with everyone, I'm going to go get the, like, epic NVIDIA swag that they sent over here.
Where
if you
is
can
it?
find it. It's a little bit higher up there.
I don't think there's really actually that much to say.
You can talk about how amazing it is.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome. I really appreciate that they're bringing this back, because honestly it's been a really long time since it came out, so you could probably play it again and it would be totally fine, and having it on the Shield is definitely something where you could just play it while you're like going to bed, and it's not actually that big of a deal. If you get Portal and Half-Life 2 together, it's about $10 on Android, which is actually awesome because that's about the same price as they are on Steam, which is fantastic. This is just way too cool. We have to show this like now.
Yeah, I know, right? Hold
I
on,
was
let me
so
just-
stoked when this came in. I guess he's got to get hooked up first. When it first launched, it ran on an ATI X800 Pro or slash XT or NVIDIA 6800 Ultra or GT, and that Tegra 4 chip should theoretically be faster.
That's incredible. And that's not even Tegra K1 yet.
No.
And Tegra K1 is like right around the corner.
Yeah, they're already leaking stuff for Shield 2, which
Yep.
will be running it. So.
Which is extremely exciting. So we're at the point where NVIDIA has done a lot of gum flapping about, console grade gaming experience on mobile. But you look at how long they've been at this. Like ever since the original Tegra and the Tegra 2, they've been saying, look, this is where we're trying to get to.
It's actually kind of cool.
It's actually happening.
Yep.
It's actually happening.
And
I mean, isn't
Half-Life
that
2
incredible?
is finally, like Half-Life 2, Portal 2, this kind of stuff, they're actually games that I really legitimately want to play on the device.
I mean, the funny thing is, as soon as I heard the announcement that Portal 2 was going to be coming, I think 2 days prior, I had finished playing Portal using GameStream.
Yeah.
It's like, so yeah, I played through the entire game on my Shield with GameStream.
And it was
awesome.
fine, right? Yeah, you didn't have any downsides.
Didn't have
as
any
far as I heard.
issues. But anyway,
This is so cool.
okay, so this was sent to us from NVIDIA. They hadn't given us any preparation for what it was going to have anything to do with. So it's basically just a painted crowbar. It came in like this enormous box with way too much anti-static bubble packaging.
Yeah.
I guess when you're NVIDIA, the only packaging
all
you
you
really
got.
have is anti-static.
Yeah.
But there you go. So it's a What Would Gordon Do crowbar with a Half-Life 2 Lambda and an NVIDIA Shield logo on it. So this is freaking cool. This will definitely live on the wall of Epic that we need to recreate back here because we
Yeah.
seriously need to redo the WAN show
Oh,
set.
definitely.
It's absolutely
That's one of
Horrible.
the coolest pieces of swag I've ever seen.
Yeah.
100%.
pretty amazing.
Whoever thought that was a good idea was on the money.
Was not stupid.
Nope.
Yay!
Yay, good job.
The Better Than Useless Award. The Not Stupid Award.
That should be the only award that we can possibly give out. We should never have any other awards other than better than worthless.
Better than worthless. Or better than all the terrible words.
Yeah, so we can just change whenever, but it's essentially the same idea.
Better than putting nails in my eye. Okay, so this article from Digital Journal. Honestly, it's not the best article I've ever read, and I don't know. Like, I hate to generalize about people, but like this author needs a better portrait. James, if you're watching, dude, please. Like, it's like selfie bad. And it's like selfie in like it looks like he took it on his webcam because you can see his screens reflected in his eyeglasses.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah, he must have too.
yeah, no, see? You can see it. Yeah.
And like a really old, kind of crappy laptop webcam.
Yeah, so James, please fix that. It's not that bad, but basically the point of the article, which is it's actually pretty thorough for all of my criticisms, is that the NSA and GCHQ are working on Tor, basically.
Yeah.
And it is not as impenetrable as some people would like to believe. The main way that they are getting at your data and tracking you is through browser plugins, which still work with Tor. So things like Flash and Java that are well known to have vulnerabilities that just are gaping.
That being said, a lot of people that I know that try and set up secure setups aren't running Java or Flash, and they're running a combination of other things. Like there's you have to have a whole suite of things.
Yeah, and the thing is that most of the community that was using Tor already probably is doing that, but we're talking about more mainstream people
exactly, yeah.
hearing about Tor and kind of going, oh, but then
Yeah.
I still want to watch my YouTube videos, so...
If you're unsure about all that kind of stuff, look it up. There's guides on how to properly set up your browser if you want to be anonymous, and you're still at a huge amount of risk, but it's going to be a lot better than just running Tor.
So the Tor network has not been cracked, but there are an increasing number of sites that are being hijacked, .onion sites that are being hijacked by law enforcement agencies and recording details of people that are visiting the sites and sending them went to the NSA. So there you go, guys. He, yeah. So you're not safe anywhere. I'm beginning to think that my like technophobe sister might have been right about all of this. Like she didn't even want a smartphone. She doesn't want a computer. She's just like, nope, pen and paper.
When I was doing research for that video that I'm working on right now, I ran into something and I started asking questions about it. And I was like, I feel like a tin hatter when I'm asking a few of these questions, but then that's probably okay.
Yeah.
Because of what's been happening lately. That's probably entirely fine. And I might not even be that far off.
So I'm gonna let you handle this.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I kind of want you to read through part of this.
No, I don't really want to.
You don't want to read through this?
All right, go.
So Oculus Rift is being used to, or the idea of Oculus Rift is being used to give chickens a free-range style lifestyle. So they set up an Oculus Rift, mix it in like a Second Life kind of idea, and then they can make the chicken think that even though it's confined into a coop, it actually has a free-range roaming identity.
Really? VR for chickens? Like, really?
What do you think about this?
I think that as concepts go, it seems more like a publicity stunt for VR in general and less of a practical thing. I mean, we are so many bajillion years away from a product like Oculus being able to be miniaturized and costed down enough to put them on chickens. I mean, it's stupid. I want chickens to have good lives, but I don't think VR is the solution.
Well, there's two things. One, I don't think it's actually going to give you the benefits of free range because they're still confined to the thing. And a lot of free range stuff is the fact that they can run around all that kind of stuff. And two, it's not real.
Oh, is this fake?
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole point of the article was to see how many people they can convince.
Okay.
So I thought you had maybe seen that, but
No,
I
I
don't
hadn't.
think so anymore. But everyone watching, I bet a lot of people actually kind of thought that that was legit. And you know what? It maybe could be, but I read quite a few places that it's not. So, like, yeah. But that's bad. And the fact that that sounds super realistic is really bad. Because imagine how many people you could sell free-range chickens to. Next, they're just gonna like strap a TV to the front of the cage and be like, "Yeah,
Free range.
free range."
This has like a field on it.
They can see the field, which makes them think they're in the field. Done.
All right, so I actually when we were supposed to have JJ on here, I kind of realized we have like barely talked about Intel's new Z97 and H97 chipsets like at all. So as usual, Z versus H means that Z is overclockable and H is not so much. The 9 series chipsets offer increased data transfer speeds for storage drives, now supporting the M.2 specification, allowing them to drive 2 PCIe 2.0 lanes to the M.2 drive, giving it a total of about 1 gigabyte per second of bandwidth compared to about 600 megabytes per second of bandwidth available over SATA 3. Okay, the same connectivity options are basically there. So 14 USB ports, 6 of which can be USB 3, up to 6 SATA 3, 6 gigabit per second ports, an integrated gigabit Ethernet controller, 8 PCIe 2.0 lanes. I believe that's all off of the chipset because you have 16 lanes off of the CPU, something along those lines. They have upgraded Smart Response Technology, SRT, so they're supporting hybrid hard drives with integrated flash storage. So previously, the feature required separate hard drives and SSDs on separate connectors. So I think there's one drive to which that's applicable, the WD Black Squared.
Yeah.
Okay, Broadwell, so new CPUs, like legitimate new CPUs, are not coming until sometime next year, probably about a year from now, and those will bring a 30% increase in power efficiency, and Z97, at least some of the boards, are advertising that they will have support for Broadwell. In the meantime, we get Haswell Refresh, as well as Devil's Canyon, so Intel has improved the thermal interface material on the CPUs so that they're going to run cooler, and the word on the street is that Z97 boards, even before we put overclockable Haswell refresh processors on them, are overclocking a little better and have the CPUs running cooler. And I think that is pretty much it. Except we were supposed to have JJ on to talk about this stuff.
He's an extremely busy man.
I know. No, well, it's true. He's like super crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, hey, there we go. Just got back to the office. Out of the office due to an emergency. It took longer at the event location. Just got back into the office. Okay, well, maybe we'll have him join us. I think we've only got about 10, 15 more minutes
Yeah.
left on the show. So, guys, maybe what we'll do is we'll have JJ on next week. I can't say 100% because it'll depend on his scheduling, but I know you guys will probably want to hear from him about what ASUS has done that's amazing in the last little while.
That is what you will hear.
That is what you will hear. I mean, he's so knowledgeable, so I look forward to having him on the show. I wish he'd been able to make it this week, but there you go.
While you get that loaded up, I have to call out a tweet. Some guy tweeted me, I bet you could get 2 packs of M&Ms for 50 cents.
Yeah, no.
That was pretty good. He didn't fit Jay-Z in, though, so I don't know.
You can have 3 points. 3 points, not 10 points.
Yeah.
All right, posted on the forum by Alex Goes High. LG G3 press renders leaked.
These look pretty sweet.
And then the completely impartial and unbiased headline says, best looking phone of the year. So here we go. Phone Arena was the original poster. So
I like the new design of the volume up, down, and power buttons.
So that's back here.
Yeah, because the one thing I didn't like about the power button before was it was a strip.
Right.
Which wasn't, it was fine. Like, it wasn't a big deal. I didn't even bother bring it up because it didn't matter that much. But this does look nicer.
So we'll go through these renders. Like, okay, so there's a thing there, and there's some stuff.
It reminds you a lot of that, doesn't it?
Yeah. And why is everyone doing gold phones?
Please stop.
Like, can everyone please stop following Apple? Like, what makes Apple a leader? The fact that everyone follows them. Like, and it's a stupid idea. I'm not being an Apple fanboy by calling them a leader. I think the idea was bad. And the people following it should feel bad.
Golden
That's all I'm trying to say.
Gold motherboards.
Like, just stop it. Gold is gaudy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. People with class wear white gold.
Gold is awesome
And I just
when it comes in
alienated
like
everyone, but
a metal.
I'm sorry?
Gold is awesome when it comes in like a metal.
Yeah,
because
like
you
if I had
won something.
if I had
Or
like a gold
trophy.
if I had like a gold brick or like
Yeah.
something. I can't think of too many other things I would like to actually be yellow gold.
Like some sort of bullion or a medal or a trophy.
Yeah.
All of that's super cool.
Yeah, trophies should be gold.
Yeah.
I'll settle for brass. I've never won a trophy in my life, so I'd settle for any trophy really. But you know what? I don't know that I agree with the best phone of the year thing not because this looks better, but because it looks like the same damn thing. Like it actually just doesn't really look any different to me. I don't see the difference. And maybe I'm just not picky enough, but like brushed metal back.
I like how it looks, but you're not wrong. It looks pretty much the same.
And I would, if everything else is equal, if they're the same price and they basically look the same, front-facing speakers, man, it is such a big deal, and it is so disappointing.
That was one of my complaints about the G3, is if I held it in the right particular way... Sorry?
G2. Yeah,
G2, sorry, yeah. If I held it in the right or wrong way, it would cover up the speakers and essentially manually mute the phone.
Yeah.
Because I would be covering up the speakers and I couldn't hear it anymore. It was kind of annoying.
Yeah, and another ergonomic thing that people might not necessarily agree with me about, but it's that I don't like bottom-mounted headphone jacks anymore. I complained about this in my 1M8 review, but I actually didn't properly explain what I don't like about it. Like, I said...
The car thing, right?
Sorry?
Is it the car thing?
Car thing?
Because you put your phone in...
Oh, that's another reason, but no, that wasn't
I don't like it because of cars, because if you plug your stuff in the bottom and then you try and put it in a cup holder...
Oh, that's another good point.
Oh.
Okay, no, I was talking about what's more natural for me to put it in my pocket so that I'm not putting strain on the connector. And not just that, but because that you could train yourself one way or the other, but I like to have it right side up in my pocket so I can pull it out of my pocket and glance at it.
Okay, yeah.
And then the other thing that I didn't explain very well is that if you have something plugged into the bottom of the phone and you're using it right side up, it's kind of in your way. And not so much on the 1M8 if you're right-handed, because it could kind of come down here. But using the iPhone 5S, something I forgot to include in my review, where it's on the left, it sits right under my pinky. So when I'm typing, it's like right in the way. Especially if you have a right angle connector on your headphones, just like I do.
Yeah, which isn't that uncommon. Both of these have it.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Sony's CEO and executives are taking a 50% pay cut with no bonuses. They've lost money 4 out of the last 5 years. This was posted on the forum by Top War Gamer. The original article is from IGN, and yeah, you know what, Top War Gamer, I think you nailed it. I'm surprised it took you this long to do it. It's almost like a knee-jerk reaction to, oh, well, Nintendo's doing this.
Yeah.
Therefore, maybe that's the honorable thing to do. Okay. I mean, I don't understand why an executive gets a bonus if the company isn't hugely profitable.
My favorite ones, and Reed hate massively, is when the company is like failing and going bankrupt, and they're like, massive exiting bonus.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that shouldn't be legal.
I really wish that
This mobile site.
yeah, I wish this wasn't the mobile site. But aside from that, I mean, I don't know how you can ever enforce something like that, because it all just becomes like,
Yeah.
you know, just like buddy club where it's like, yeah, let's all make lots of money. That sounds great. Yeah, I think that's a great idea too. Bonus for you. Bonus for you.
Yeah.
Bonuses for everyone. But I just think it's wrong. I just think it is so wrong that when you are not making money, I mean, okay, it's one thing to, I mean, okay, I'll use, you know, the business terms, to streamline your workforce and, you know, be profitable and make money because you cut a bunch of jobs. No one likes that, but I kind of get it. The company's profitable. You're maintaining your sales target. You're doing the company things that you need to do, which is to make money. It's another thing when you are cutting jobs or not cutting jobs. Or okay, I guess it's better if you're not cutting jobs. And okay, no, hold on. If you are,
We'll get there.
we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right. So if you're making money, that's one thing. If you're, you know, cutting jobs or even not cutting jobs and you're not making money, you shouldn't be getting a bonus.
Yeah.
Because a bonus should be tied to performance. And if the company's not making money, then the leadership is not performing, because leadership is responsible for everyone. Like if he does something stupid, ultimately, who gets a cease and desist or who gets a complaint? It will be me, because I'm responsible for him. So if he does something great, then I should get a bonus. But if he does something crappy, then I'm the one who has to deal with it, because ultimately I'm responsible for what he does. And that's how leadership works. That's what taking responsibility for things is supposed to look like. And so I don't understand why it took so long, and I'm frustrated that that's a thing, and I guess I'm not really going anywhere with this now. But the point is, thank you guys for tuning into the WAN show. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. I'm surprised there's so many people watching. The weather's beautiful here. Maybe the weather sucks there, in which case I'm sorry to hear that, but...
I think also bunch of finals ending this week.
Yes.
I think there's still some more coming
Students.
a little bit later. If you guys have finals later than this, I'm sorry. Holy crap, that sucks. But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. That was awesome.
All right, peace out, guys.
Whoop.
Someone will get it.